What's up out there? We are back with some more Path of Exile. This is my Cyclone Berserker, and I now have the Eater and the Exarch down, so those are done. Next stop is trying the Maven and doing all the other bossing. I've got to work on all of these. I'm still working on the Maven part, but I got the Eater and the Exarch both down. I need to work on my implicits and get a bunch of stuff fixed with my gear, but this is a tier 16 tower map. I thought I'd show you how the build is rolling on right now. This is the build that I have used to clear the Eater and the Exarch both. I died, I don't know, a decent amount of times with each. This build is, I don't want to say squishy, but it dies a lot. Like, it takes some significant damage. It's kind of weird because I'm not entirely sure. I need to record my footage at some point. I need to record more footage and look back at it because there's a lot of icons that'll pop up that I'm not familiar with necessarily. I think I've got other issues I need to resolve with this build, and I need to actually sit down and figure out what those issues are. Like, I just start taking damage for no reason sometimes. I know ignites are a problem, so like this thing here is probably igniting me, and that's an issue. Getting him dead before I die is a problem. I think I'm focused a little bit more on on leech than I am on regen. I'm trying to build up my life regen a little bit. See where we got stuff to kill over here. I don't mind having the leech on here, but I don't like, I'm not getting enough recovery from it, I guess. And I don't have enough life regen to make up for whatever's missing. And I might have an idea of a couple of issues that might be going on here, but you can see I'm just trashing everything off pretty easily here. That's what do we get? Not really anything on here. Not anything too crazy as far as stats go, but as far as the map modifiers go. But it's not too bad, just laying waste to everything when possible. I spent a lot of time in Delve. Yeah, see, I'm just dying off right there, and I don't know why. There's no little modifier over there. Something's getting through, and I don't quite know what it is. I kind of think I've got a cast when damage taken set up, and I've got it to where it's not, I haven't leveled it up. I probably need to level it up a little bit because I'm thinking that might be going off a little bit often, and maybe that's part of it, I'm guessing. I know if I stand in that stuff, I end up dying. I haven't been able to survive those. Some builds, like I don't know about a tier 16 map, but the Cyclone Chieftain that I've got can survive quite a bit. But he's got a lot of life regen, he's got a lot of resistances and everything, so it might make up for some of this stuff. Where this one don't. This one's like straight up. And I take 40% more damage because of the Ascendancy node that I've taken. I think it's 40% more damage. What did we take here? Yeah, 40% more, no, 10% increased damage taken. I get 40% more damage, but I take 10% increased damage, so that doesn't help either. So everything that thing's, I want to get hit with that. Get around here and get away from that guy because he is not dying. See what we can do with this thing here. Some things still don't quite, it's got extra life. Some things still take a little bit to kill. And obviously my damage is going to go up as I get more of the build put together. Level up a little bit more. I am getting slowed a fair bit here and there, but I'm not noticing the slowing as much as I was with my other build. Like, I've got a lot of movement speed on here. So the movement speed really just makes up for everything. Oh, I need to do on my tooltip, we're getting 219,000 DPS. And when this thing cranks out, it's like 500 and some thousand or something like that. Yeah, it's got to be Maven Witness, doesn't it? So it's not too bad. It's going to get better because I can get this to about 1.7 million DPS. I presume it's going to get a little bit higher this time because I've made some changes to the passive tree. But who knows? So we're getting 521,000 DPS. It's not too bad. A little slow on these things though. I've got Ellie res cap, but it's still taking quite a bit of damage from whatever these things, whatever these monsters are doing. Don't want to be in there. Don't want to be under there. I gotta take all that shield back off. This is going a lot slower than I thought it was gonna go. I had pretty good luck just mowing things down. See, like, I'm not regenerating right there. Of course, it says a tier 16 map. I don't remember what I did this originally. I want better life regen. I got some points I can put into, or I've got a few places that I can go on the tree to put points into it and get life regen, but I haven't got there yet. I need to level up a little bit more, which we'll talk about that here in a second. This isn't too bad. It's steady. This thing's got extra life. Oh, 49% more monster life. Yes. All right. So that was why it's taking so long. So that's it. The build is doing really well. We are at level 89 right now. And what I did is I robbed a bunch of gear from my Cyclone Chieftain. Now, when I played through this, I mean, I smoked the campaign with this, and I've really ripped through. Like I said, I no life this yesterday, and I leveled up a lot. So this build is probably the one that I should have league started with. Just bluntly, I should have league started with this thing. This does so much better than that Chieftain build. I thought the Chieftain build would do a lot better on clear with the explodes and everything, but the explodes don't happen all that much. With this, you're just physically overwhelming them completely, and you can just plow through everything. So this is what I should have league started, and like I said, mistaken thinking. But I don't regret league starting with the other build, because the other build got me the option with Eternal Blessing and being able to put haste and Eternal Blessing and stuff like that together. So I don't regret that starting that build, but going forward, if I'm going to keep playing this and league starting this for whenever the next league kicks off, this will probably be the build. Unless I come up with something better, this is going to be my league starter, because this is just gets the job done. So we've got 219,235 DPS, and right now, without anything on, it's 13.33 attacks per second. I forgot about that. Let's go look at this. I'm getting like 18 attacks per second or some crazy thing. Like, it's a ridiculous amount. We'll just go do something here real quick. Doesn't matter what. I'm tickled with this, because this is kind of hilarious, I think. So we come out here, we're getting 13.3 attacks per second. Once we build up all our rage and get onslaught and everything, there's 15. We need to look at movement speed too. There's 17.8, 18.87. Gotta pay attention where I'm going. So it ramps up to 18.87, and we're about to die to this stuff here. Gotta pay attention where I'm going. So 18.87 attacks per second. I think that is phenomenal. The best I got this was 11 something before. If we go and look at our defense, I have 83 with all this ramped up, all my movement speed and everything with the rage, onslaught, and all that. I'm a little slow right now. Why am I slow right now? So I've got plus 83% movement speed with Cyclone. And when you let off the gas on Cyclone, or when you turn Cyclone on, you take a big movement speed reduction. So actually, this guy's like totally cracked out when he gets on there. 83, yeah. So we lose a lot of movement speed, and I think that's what's helping me get around all the the maim and hinder and all that stuff. I do get maimed and hindered. Let's see. I should have stuff on here to get rid of that. Actually, I don't anymore. So when I do get maimed or hindered or get chill effect or something like that, I barely even notice it anymore because the character's so fast anyway. It slows down, but when I was doing my Cyclone Chieftain, it was slowing down so much that it was painful. This one, it's so much faster that even taking all those debuffs, I don't really notice it all that much. And I do have the avoid being frozen, so that's nice, but I don't have any way of getting rid of corrupted blood, but I did get some gloves from down in Delve where corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you, so that's a nice addition. But those are the features of the build. It's doing really well. I'm posting a ton of damage, and I think this axe came from the other build. This chest piece came from the other build. I might have actually crafted some of this other stuff. It doesn't really matter. So what I'm running for Cyclone, and I took my 2020 gem off of the other build, so that one's here, so I didn't have to worry about gem cutters and things like that. I also grabbed, we'll talk about accuracy here in a second, but I think I grabbed the infused channeling from the other build, Fortify from the other build, and I'm finally getting close to getting brutality up to its max level. And I grabbed this melee fizz from the other build. I think whenever I get a 6-link, that'll be what I put in there is the melee fizz. I have to figure out what I want to do. And I'm trying to decide whether I want to actually do conk effect or infused channeling or both. I don't particularly like conk effect because it's so small. It reduces the AoE down too much. And it might be a little difficult to get like 2 greens, 2 blues, and 2 reds. I'm not sure on that. It may cost a little bit. I'm in SSF, so it might be a little difficult to get, but I may swap infused channeling for conk effect. I may put both in because I think both are really good together, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So that's kind of about it. I think I want to upgrade this cast 1 damage taken. I'm kind of thinking that this thing is going off so many times that I'm probably taking too much incoming damage, and that's going off and reducing my life. I think that's one of the problems that I've got, so I'm probably going to bump that up a little bit so it takes more damage to kick all this off. And I'm trying to do Blade Vortex to get Culling Strike for whatever that's worth, and then vulnerability. So I may need to bump that up. Gear wise, I don't know, nothing real exciting here. I still don't have any of, I've got 5% chance to impale enemies and +7 chaos res. Everything else is garbage because I just haven't gotten any currency for it. I did get a Stygian Vice finally. Man, I went down, I fought 3, I think I did 3 of the Abyssal Depths, and I ended up getting a bunch of these. Well, 3. So I've got that crafted up. We've got my resistances are all good. We're all capped, res capped on everything but chaos, and chaos pretty much res caps. It's close, but not quite there whenever that flask is up. So resistances are well fixed at this point. And on the passive tree, if you've followed what I've done with the other build, this is pretty much the same thing. We've got, you start off over here. We go through Born to Fight, Heart of the Warrior, Warrior's Blood, come all the way over here to Art of the Gladiator. We're running Blood Magic. I was running Resolute Technique in the last video, and I theory crafted in the last video a little bit about coming over here to Precise Technique, which I did. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. But there's some life nodes up here. There's this Berserking where you get increased attack speed, max rage, things like that. So this is pretty much the passive tree that I use and pick up Bastion Breaker, Wrecking Ball, Martial Experience, Slaughter, all the two-handed stuff over here. It just naturally works. Kinetic Impacts. I mean, it just, you're right there for all this stuff. So it's real easy to pick all these up. And this time, instead of pathing up this way, because there's some stuff I'll go get up in here somewhere. I don't remember everything I pick up, maybe Fortify or whatever, but ended up picking up Bloodless and Soul of Steel up this way, going off of here, this little pickup. I just grabbed all this. And let's see here. I did grab Destroyer this time around. So this one gives me, this node here gives you 12% increased accuracy with two-handed weapons. And I just went ahead and grabbed the rest of it because there's a lot of increased damage. There's some increased attack speed and increased damage, increased attack speed, all kinds of stuff in here that was really good for my build. That's why I'm pushing 18 whatever attacks per second. So In the last video, I had Resolute Technique, and I was theory crafting about coming over here and going over to Precise Technique and seeing how much more damage I could get. It's a pretty decent chunk of damage, to be honest with you. It goes up quite a bit. Now, to get that, you need to have accuracy higher. Main hand accuracy has to be higher than your life. And I had, when I started this off, because I'm right here, I picked up Eagle Eye, and I was in the neighborhood for Weathered Hunter as well, so I picked both of those up. I simply didn't have enough accuracy. Like, I could not get enough accuracy to make that work. I even came down here to Feller of Foes. This gives you plus 200 accuracy to axes, and it just wasn't enough. Even with the mastery here, it just was not enough. I think I even came over here into versatility, and I cannot get enough accuracy. So I ended up having to take this additional accuracy support gem. So if I take that out, that's all the more accuracy I get. Like, it's nothing. And I'm kind of surprised that, like, I've taken Eagle Eye and Weathered Hunter before and had plenty of accuracy and didn't have to grab all this extra stuff, but I had to grab so much more accuracy this time. I ended up going to that support gem, and that's when I actually, because this armor came from my other build and it didn't have the right resistances for this build, or there was something, I needed dex or something. So I ended up having to solve a bunch of other things. But when I figured out that I remembered, hey, there's an accuracy support gem in here. So I went ahead and grabbed that and threw it on, and like instantly my build, it would just came to life and worked. So I had to work this chest piece in here. But that accuracy is massive. That just adds so much more accuracy to it. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get more accuracy out of gear or something like that and try to figure that out. It could be solved in other ways. I'm sure I could get some accuracy on my weapon or something like that. I'm not sure. I'll have to mess around with crafting and all that to see what I can do, to see if I can get rid of that support gem. If I can get rid of that support gem or leave the support gem in and move some of these points around, that'd be fine. I'm not entirely, Feller of Foes is good. This over here, versatility, gives you increased accuracy rating, but you also get increased movement speed and dex and int, plus 20 to dex and int. So that's not the worst in the world to have. And then over here, you get a little bit of Ellie res out of it, along with, 18% Ellie res with accuracy. So like, it's not bad for my build to have any of this. I think if I had to take anything out, I'd like to get rid of this support gem. But like I said, the support gem puts so much into it that it's almost impossible to get around with the setup that I've got. So unless I can solve the accuracy issues with something else, this is the way it's gonna be. So we've got Feller of Foes and all that added into it. We've got, like I said, I did have Eagle Eye, but I pulled those out because I could just move over here to versatility and get more of stuff that I wanted. This Eagle Eye's got crit chance and stuff like that, and with Precise Technique, you never deal crits. So I thought it was better to expend these points somewhere else, so I ended up moving them. But I also was looking at coming over to, where is it? It was off here. There's Acuity, which you get increased attack speed and stuff like that. This is kind of way out of the way in some regards. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nodes, 8 or 9 nodes, depending on however you go to get there. It's a little bit out of the way, but that would give me increased attack speed, a bunch of accuracy and everything. I thought about coming over there, but that's a lot of points to get into it. Whereas I could be spending those points over here and doing other things like coming over to Hardy and getting my life regen pushed up. Or let's see here, could come down and get Disciple of the Slaughter for rage. I've also tinkered with the idea of going over into Graceful Assault to get chance for Onslaught on kill. We've also got Hatchet Master for chance for Onslaught on kill, so that if I could do both, that's like 30% chance for Onslaught on kill. And you get a bunch of other increased attack speed and stuff like that. So I've got, what are we, level 89? So 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. I'd have to go to level 98 to get that. That's not going to happen unless I move this point over here. If I ever did get a character to level 100, I could take this and all this. But I think what I'm going to work on next for the next couple of levels is just get over here to Hardy and fix that. And then we'll try to work over into maybe Hatchet Master or something. I need a POB that. I think Disciple of the Slaughter would be better, but I kind of like the concept of getting Onslaught as I go and then swapping this Onslaught flask out for something else, although it is automated and it kind of just works in the background. Now, I also I looked at what it would take to remove blood magic, and the way things are set up, it ain't going to happen. So I did try it, and I pulled blood magic and this strength node out and came over here into the attack mana cost and cannibalistic rite. I just don't have enough mana to keep up with the spend that I've got going on over here. It's just not going to happen. So I could probably do that if I came over here into Spirit of War and moved some things around, and and that's not even putting things on reservation yet. And I did look at reserving some things like Determination and I don't know, a couple other things. The unfortunate side effect, which I guess I knew this, is Eternal Blessing shuts all other auras off. So if you're using Eternal Blessing, you just don't get a free aura. You get a free aura if you don't use any other auras, but you don't get a free aura if you're going to run other ones. So I wasn't able to run both of those or run that and a stack of auras. I thought that'd be cool, but can't do that. And like I said, my mana spend is just way too high. I know there's ways of reducing the cost and everything, but I got my Eater and Exarch kills in, and I don't have problems with mana. So I think this is for 2 points versus all the points it would take to solve whatever issues that I've got. Plus, I know there's reduced channeling costs on some craft you can get and stuff like that. Like that's eating into my gear and everything that I need for resistances and everything else. So I think this 2-pointer solves it. I will say there was something kind of cool about this. I wasn't sure if this was going to work, and I did test it in POB, and I actually did test it when I pulled my points out of here. So on this physical mastery node, it's 40% increased phys damage with skills that cost life. So I took that because everything I do costs life with blood magic. It seemed like a no-brainer. And I thought if I was going to take that and, try to go back into mana and everything, that I would need to equip life tap. Well, the cool thing is, if you read this, Cannibalistic Rite, attack skills cost life instead of 10% of mana. So you're not like moving all the cost over there. It's sharing the cost between the two. But because that now costs life in addition to mana, you can still use the 40% increased phys damage with skills that cost life. So I thought that was pretty cool. I still get that little bump in damage, and I need a POB and see if that's like the best node for it. I could probably put that somewhere else if it, but I thought it was kind of cool because this is skills that cost life. And even if the skill costs both mana and life, you can still actually use that when you use like Cannibalistic Rite and stuff. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind because I've definitely used Cannibalistic Rite on stuff and then avoided or have not used that because I didn't think I could. But yeah, we're getting a lot more DPS. See, when I put my 1.7 million DPS build together, I had Disciples of the Slaughter, but I did not have Precise Technique. So moving points over, and I didn't have Feller of Foes. I don't remember. Oh, I came into a big wheel off the side here is what I did. So that cluster jewels and stuff like that. Maybe I need to revisit that, or maybe I need to look at that and see how I can get into it. And there's another little cluster or jewel socket I could take here too. But yeah, I am very pleased. I got my 2 void stones. I'm doing 680,000 damage or something like that at the moment. It's going to take a little bit to build up and get all my implicits on, get a little bit better gear and everything. But I am very pleased with the performance of this build. I don't know if I'm going to take the Maven down at all. Like, I don't know if this build's going to survive that much, but I'm going to try it. My next stop is to finish up my mapping process. I've got all the little unique maps to do. So I'm going to try to get as many as I can done. Try to, I don't know, farm up some currency and stuff like that. I thought I was going to use my chieftain after when I did yesterday's video, I thought I was going to go out and do the chieftain. I just immediately ran into this build. He was low on resistances, but I was able to just go through and mow everything down and level him up all day yesterday. I did not have to use my other one at all. In fact, I've kind of broken my other one in some respects, but this is the build going forward, and I'm full steam ahead towards the Maven and all the bossing and everything. So I'm happy. I am very happy with the way this build's going. And that is going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.